So I'm here today joined with Tom Evans, who's the territory operator for Purplebricks of Southampton, Bournemouth and Salisbury. So Tom, thank you for coming on today. And I know it's, we had you lined up for one of these interviews in my last load of lockdown interviews, 1.0, but we're now into 2.0 and obviously a lot's changed. So I know obviously we sort of had a chat about, well, we've always been in touch. I think we obviously our paths crossed going back into when you first came into the agency world.
Back in 2013, I think that was that.
Yeah, gosh, shows at least I've got a few more grey hairs. At least I've still got
You're a bit grey.
Eh?
I'm receding a little bit. So
exactly. But really, like we said, we've got 5 questions here to ask you today. Really to get how the market's affected you, how it's affected you personally with your business, etc. Things like that. Really to give the public an insight as to how things are, if that's all right with you. So shall I start off with question number 1 for you?
Always best. Start at the top, and there we go.
Perfect. So since the lockdown restrictions have eased, what would you say has affected your, what has been the biggest change in your business?
So the biggest and most obvious is actually quite a funny one. So up until October, I have still been doing valuations in and around Southampton. And honestly, mate, the one that I found really strange is going into somebody's house or going to a meeting and not shaking somebody's hand. For me, business and shaking hands go hand in hand. But, I find it quite rude to go into somebody's house and then you've got the awkward, are we going with a fist? Are we coming in with an elbow? So obviously there's been massive impacts on the property market, full stop. We've been working in a bit of a false market in terms of having the stamp duty holiday, which I'm sure we'll discuss further as we go on. But I've been really grateful that we've been able to almost carry on as normal throughout lockdown when there's been lots and lots of people affected by furlough or potentially losing their job and different bits and pieces like that. So really, really pleased that, me and my team have been able to continue offering a really good 5-star service for our customers. Personally believe Purplebricks were set up brilliantly well to deal with lockdown, partly because we've worked from home. So I've worked from home since 2014. So in terms of building a daily routine, it's something that all the local property experts are used to doing. Yeah. And then we've got a website that's 24/7, offers full transparency for our clients. So we were able to shift pretty seamlessly into a kind of virtual valuation and virtual viewings world. Granted, it's never going to be the same as going around and meeting somebody face to face. Even little things like having a coffee with a seller, unfortunately not allowed, and wearing a mask and not shaking hands. So it is all a little bit strange, but what I'm taking from it is I've been very thankful that we've been able to carry on. The market's held together. And so business has actually been at a good level this year.
That's also been, it's been quite a smooth sort of transition, I suppose, for you and your team, because like you say, you have always worked from home. I know for one that, I've only worked from home during this lockdown. So for me, it was a lot of adjustment to get used to it going forward, and resulted in me building this from an office down the end of the
It's
yard.
a very nice home office, mate. I must be said, I'm very envious. But the house, so I'm actually taking advantage, myself and Kelly, my partner, we're taking advantage of the stamp duty holiday ourselves. So we've sold our place just trying to wait for exchange and completion on our new purchase that has got a nice home office in the back garden. But for now, I'm still in the converted living room. But yeah, working from home, to be honest, I would say is a skill. It's quite an art because, you can easily fall into bad habits, and by bad habits, getting up late, not having a structure to your day. So for me, structure has been absolutely key, but it's something that I've done since I was 23 when I joined Purplebricks back in 2014. And actually, it kind of helps with our fee structure, how we're as cost effective as we are for our customers because we don't have the overheads. But I feel we were able to adapt very, very quickly in lockdown 1.0. Hopefully lockdown 2.0, as you're saying, will be done by sort of early part of December. So it won't have the same level of impact. But as we know, that very well could be extended, and we may be looking at lockdown 3.0 and whatever moving forwards.
Yeah, I know. Or lockdown 2.5, as they called it with the next extension. But no, that's great. It's really, really good to hear there. And I wish you all the best with your move and
Thank you, mate.
But let's go on to question 2. So this one again can be business or personal. So which is during this pandemic, have you learned any valuable lessons that you wish to share with anyone, with us?
Again, just always trying to find positives in every situation. I think mindset is absolutely key, especially when living through a pandemic, which none of us are used to. I'm actually a really sociable person. I love going out, meeting with friends, meeting with family, and just enjoying some social time. So I think, Zoom, Skype, Teams, FaceTime, WhatsApp chat, whatever it may be, I think that's been a real blessing in disguise to keep relationships going, be able to have face-to-face conversations like this, because I can pick the phone up to you whenever, but actually being able to see the white of your eyes and have a good conversation with you, I think it helps. In terms of it's as if we're kind of meeting up. So the joys of technology, again, going back to routine, I think that's absolutely key, having routine and keeping a positive mindset. In terms of learning anything in particular, I've got a lot fitter. I've had a lot more time to train. As you know, I love my training and stuff, so we'll talk about that a little bit later. But yeah.
Good. Yeah,
what about yourself?
For me, it's structure.
Learn any new skills?
Well, for me, it's more just structure, I think. There was a time where during this lockdown where it was, I'll get up, have a coffee, log on, and then it will be a long dwindled day going forward. Now I get up, I walk the dog, I log on. There's loads of different aspects.
You split your day up much better.
I'll make sure I have a sort of a 10-15 minute in the morning. I'll make sure, I'll pop up, get away from the computer and walk up the house for 15-20 minutes at lunchtime, again in the afternoon. It just splits it up once you just sat here and
I think that's absolutely vital, because I think we can all fall into the trap of kind of, you're at your computer, but are you actually really productive? And is it better to say, right, for the next hour and a half, I'm really committing to this little bit of work. And then, as you said, go for a little 10-minute walk, go get yourself a coffee, just freshen up, and then you can get back into the zone. So something that I've been doing has been working out at lunchtime. So 12 till 1 every single day, providing I haven't got any meetings or whatever. It's really good. Get a bit of a sweat on, and it really breaks the day up. And for me, it keeps my mind active, and it's worked really well for me. Obviously, Kelly is working from home as well. So we're both here, and we've both been able to kind of work out together. So it's been a good bit of time to spend together as well.
As you know, Charlotte's a teacher, so the last lockdown was a bit different because she was here, but this lockdown,
she's back at school.
It's me and the dog.
me, the dog and I.
Exactly. Question 3 was, if you had the power to set the lockdown restrictions yourself, what would you have put in place and why?
The first one's a bit of a jokey one. So at the end of the month, as you know, because we're friends, but the listeners and the watchers won't, it's my 30th birthday at the end of the month. So obviously in my mind, I'd built up this, either being in my new house, unfortunately that's been delayed, or going out with my friends and family and having a good couple of nights out. Unfortunately, that isn't going to be able to happen. So it's going to be a much quieter 30th birthday than planned. But obviously I completely understand that the reason we're in a lockdown, we have to take it seriously. Safety is paramount. And although you and I, probably are not high risk, there will be many people out there who actually doing this lockdown and stopping the curve. Although it's frustrating, and although we want to get on with normal life, it's just a sensible decision. But personally speaking, I'm a big believer that gyms should have stayed open. Being a member at CrossFit Solent, they are very, very, it's the cleanest place I go to in terms of, you're in your own square. You have to do your temperature on the way in. You have to do the scan and track and trace. You have to clean down all your equipment afterwards. It's all quite regimented, but I think people being able to get into a gym, maybe do a quick hour class or whatever, is a really good way to blow off some steam. And obviously, as we know, healthy body, healthy mind. So for me, I agree with the lockdown. I just personally feel that gyms should have been kept off of that list. I'm not sure if you saw James Haskell earlier in the week actually went into London. He was obviously sponsored by Grenade, who do the protein bars and the drinks and stuff. And he went in on a tank.
The tank, yeah, I saw.
So, you know, fair play to him. Obviously, that's a way of creating a point. Thankfully, Duncan, who actually owns CrossFit Solent, has been really, really helpful in terms of lending his kit out. So I have just got behind me a Concept 2 bike erg.
Nice.
That was very kindly lent to me, and he gave out all his dumbbells and kettlebells. And they've actually created a Instagram page, so you can log in and you can do daily workouts and you can share your scores and stuff. So there's still that community feel. People can still do it, but personally, I would have kept the gyms open, and for one night only, I'd have let myself have a 30th birthday.
It's a bummer for me because I was just about to join. Right. Question 4 was, what do you enjoy about the new normal? What do you enjoy most about it?
So the new normal, I live in the wonderful place, for those that know Southampton, of the top end of Shirley. So actually in the first lockdown, myself and Kelly really got into actually just going out and walking, something I would never have time to do, because we're all so busy and we're also caught up in the day-to-day life, whether it's going to appointments or meetings or the gym or going out. So actually just getting out and walking, I've really enjoyed that. It's a much more simplistic routine because, as I said, we're not running around here, there and everywhere. So I enjoy some aspects of it, but as I said earlier in our conversation, I do actually enjoy getting out there and meeting people and having coffees or whatever it might be. So it's not the same, but I feel I've actually adapted to it better than I would, especially having 2 of us working from home since March. Thought we might have been at loggerheads, but actually it's been fairly smooth. So just really grateful for the equipment that was lent by CrossFit, so I can keep my training going, and really enjoyed it.
Good. Last but not least, is because I know I'm pretty sure you had a couple of holidays booked, or you do like to go away, and I know you've had a couple of staycations over here. But the last question is, if you could be anywhere in the world right now without COVID-19 being an issue, where would it be and why?
So probably 2. You are right. Absolutely love a holiday. So wouldn't be picky. Anywhere hot, nice all-inclusive hotel, lots of food, lots of drink, nice book, led on a sun lounger. That would be me down to a T. So would love a holiday and missed a couple of trips to France and some other bits and pieces this year. But my other love, as you know, is Bristol City. So I'd absolutely, we're flying in the championship. We're 5th at the moment. I'd absolutely love an opportunity just to go and cheer the lads on at Ashton Gate or at a random away ground across the UK, which I try and do when I can. And moving into next year, obviously we don't know what's happening with lockdown and future potential lockdowns, but I was really hoping to go to South Africa next summer on the British and Irish Lions tour, which is obviously the rugby team going and touring around South Africa. So myself and Kelly are both 30 within a couple of months of each other, and our plan was as a joint 30 if we were going to go. And it's and ahhing, do we commit to it with how travel is and is it worth the risk? So I've actually given you 3 answers for one, but
we've committed to our honeymoon again next year, so we're touch wood that everything will be okay.
Where you going? Nice trip.
Off to America. Off to America.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah. So we're hopeful that it's all going to come forward, and the big day's been moved till next year.
What day we settled in at?
29th of May. So don't worry about keeping it free. You're not coming.
Yeah, I'm not on the list of 30. I know.
But no, Tom, look, I really, really appreciate obviously everything you've gone through there today. I think it's a real insight to the public and probably your followers. I'm sure you'll share it as well, and we'll share it so that we can give everyone an insight as to how lockdown 1 and 2.0 has affected the business there. But much appreciated. Thanks for coming on, Tom Evans.
I can just butt in before you say your goodbyes, if you can use your social platforms and stuff, one thing the government haven't helped us with, they've allowed the property market to remain open. I wonder if the public actually are aware that the property market is currently open. So we have noticed lockdown 2.0, there's been a drop off in viewings and valuations. So just to make the point, the market is open. We are open for business. I really appreciate you getting me on. Really been good to have a conversation with you, Dan. I think you're a top man, and appreciate you giving me the opportunity to have a conversation with you, mate.
Thanks, Tom. Appreciate it. Thank you.